Good afternoon, and welcome to the Go the Way Guys podcast. Glad to have you here with us. It is a Monday afternoon. Travis, welcome to the show.
Hello, Butch.
Butch Foster.
Hi, Travis. How you doing, bud?
Welcome
Russ,
to the show.
hey, man. Thanks.
Good.
Appreciate the invite.
One of my favorite guys of all time, the master pastor, Butch Foster, joins us today. First off, I got to do some corrections and some apologizing.
Who would have thought that would happen? You know? Really?
Story of my life.
Okay.
Us three, I figured that would be me.
So last week we interviewed three people. The two runners or runoff candidates for the sheriff's office, James Jones and James Purcell.
Yeah.
And my microphone was off the whole show, which in and of itself was ridiculous. Then it gets better. Because then we have another podcast with Laney Jernigan, who is our 5-time state champion.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, but it gets better.
Oh, okay. Tell me. I didn't see that.
I want to tell him.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
We did the whole podcast, and he never hit record. Or he sent it the wrong place.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to redo it.
Yeah. The whole first segment with Laney Jernigan was just a practice run.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So we were up here
So
for like 5 hours. And
luckily tonight, Richie Rich is manning the store, and we can just talk.
Actually do something professional, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
okay.
So Laney
All right, good
Jernigan's
deal.
again, even
Settle down.
with having to do her podcast over again, I still didn't have my microphone on.
yeah.
So
He spent another 6 hours trying to get it right. So
she's answering questions, and y'all hear the questions being answered, but you have no idea what the questions
question
are.
mark.
Okay.
So
Well, she's used to being way out in front of everybody anyhow. So,
That's-
that's the deal right there.
there you go. There you go. A couple of weeks ago, I guess a week from last week. So it would have been the goat cook-off is what I'm getting at.
You almost said duck cook-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
About
a
the
new one. We
well-
haven't had that one yet, have we? Had the duck cook-off?
It's about the same to me, a duck or a goat. Neither one I'm not eating. Anyways, we got some results. Travis, you want to walk through this with us?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Got an email from Crystal Knight with Paul Crystal Knight with Smoke Happens, grand champion overall.
Okay.
So they also walked away with the Guy Leverett Best of Mills County Trophy. In order to win that, you must be from Mills County, and whoever places highest in the brisket category wins that traveling trophy. It's the second year in a row.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Go ahead.
Also, the state champion cook-off also was Paul Knight, has qualified for the World Championship in Kansas City.
That's in Missouri.
That's big time.
I just Missouri.
big time.
That's funny how that works out.
Well, there's also
when you
Kansas
leave
City,
the
Kansas.
state, it qualifies as big time. Okay.
That's
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Goodness gracious. Yeah. So also Jack. Let's see who's this Jack.
Is a world cook-off.
Which is the World Cook-Off. Okay. That was an invite in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Be invited to in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Smoke Happens.
You ever been to Lynchburg, Tennessee? You're a traveler.
Not that I may have driven through there and didn't know it.
Not
but,
intentionally?
Not intentionally. There's places I've been that I didn't intend to be there, but that's where the GPS took me, and I was like, "It's just not where I want to go."
I've been there.
Here we go. Have you? Have you really?
They make good whiskey up there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, darn.
No.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
And how would you know that?
Seen it on a commercial.
Yes, that's what you've heard, right? Okay.
Smoke Happens placed as follows. Okay, and I guess that's the name of their
Yes. Paul Crystal Knight.
yeah, that's their name of their
Cooking team.
cooking team. That's good. Yeah. So they got placed third in beans, second in chicken, first in ribs, fourth in goat,
Second brisket.
second in brisket. Good job, guys.
All right.
Way to go, and good luck
Good
to you
deal.
on your next endeavors in Kansas City and maybe Tennessee.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you notice, we had to upgrade the equipment because I was so aggravated about the audio not being right. I'm like,
It is cool,
it's
too.
never going to happen again. So we even have the more official podcast set up, except for you, Butch. We just
Yeah, well, I got leftovers. I'm sure that's about right. So I'm used to it. Okay.
But yeah, it was stuff we've been wanting to get.
Sure.
Mainly to keep Travis occupied because he likes to tinker
wow.
with stuff.
I'll have it hanging in the floor in a minute.
Well,
Y'all don't mind me.
he does have the light, so that'll help him.
That's right.
Let's see, mine's changing colors.
I know it. That's amazing,
It's
isn't it?
doing good.
And yours is just doing blue. So all
Well,
right.
you know why?
Why?
It's the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, okay.
They play tonight, Game 4.
Yep.
It's a big
They're
ma-
ahead 2-1.
That's right. It's a big game for two Texas teams. Mm-hmm. Dallas Mavericks playing in Game 4 at home,
And Stars
and Stars are playing Game 4 in
away.
Colorado.
Colorado.
That's
yes.
right. Just kind of give you some updates on some things. Our Spotify has been doing really well. We have 24 followers on Spotify, which is good. We need to up that up a little bit. But our YouTube has been good. We have almost 65 subscribers. But, guys, here's the deal. I know you're listening to it because we have, over 500 listeners on the Howard podcast alone. That was the first episode. So we need people to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
And that way we can let you know when the new shows come out. We're going to try to do this first every week, Sundays or Mondays, something like that. But, yeah, subscribe to the show, like the show, and then plaster it on Facebook and share it wherever you want to share.
We need to do some live stuff, too, I think. We get it figured out.
We are, we're working on that. We want to do some live podcasts in different areas. I think we have the ability to do that now with the new equipment that we've been getting. So that's exciting. And so a lot of stuff happening moving forward. But for tonight, we have a big show because we have one of my great friends, Butch Foster.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, and the reason why I wanted to have Butch on for two reasons. He is the master pastor, as I already said. He was pastor of Goldthwaite First Baptist Church for how many years, Butch?
Well, I was associate pastor for 39 years and 2 months.
In 2 months.
That's right.
Not that he was counting.
And I thought, it was one of those times. It's time,
That's a long time.
So 40 years as
Yeah.
associate pastor here.
Yeah.
Was it always here in Mills County, right? Or
Yeah,
Goldthwaite?
well, I did have I was a student minister in North Carolina for a couple of years before I went to seminary in Fort Worth. And then when I was at seminary, I didn't have I wasn't involved. I mean, I was involved in the church, but I wasn't in a paid position.
Right,
You know,
on a volunteer basis.
stuff like that. So
Intern kind of thing.
yeah, it was one of those unpaid things. You just fill it out, and that way you complete a course. Okay, good. I'm paying to take the course, and then I'm working for free. This sounds like a great career move.
It's a good model.
It's a good model, yeah.
Kind of like student teacher.
That's the way, They had that a lot in Northeast Texas, Teen Mania and things like that. They would pay a bunch of money for their kids to work for them all summer. Like,
Oh yeah.
And they got great benefits as far as getting close to the Lord in their quiet time and learning how to. It wasn't like it was
Yeah.
all for nothing, but it's like, man, I'm paying them to work for them.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Well, there's that reason. Number one, we want to talk about kind of the history of this church, which you were one of the pioneers in. Also, fellowship, which you helped as well. And then also the other part of this that I was really excited to bring is you've had a really good seat for years calling Goldthwaite High School football games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's a big deal for us. I now do that, and you I don't know if you suckered me into it or rookie dude me into it.
Well, let's just say nominated your name and then told you, hey, this is what you really need to be doing. So so yes.
Yeah, and it's been great. I loved every second of it. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of branched out from just football to now it's basketball. And it's baseball and track and softball and rodeo and
Yeah.
I'm trying to work my way into it too. I'm trying to learn something from him, but
he's fun. Here's the problem. He distracts me.
I'm shocked at that.
Come on
Not
now.
Travis.
I distract myself too.
Yeah.
I was looking. I heard something there.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of what we wanted to talk about with you
Sure,
this
glad
afternoon.
to.
So what we'll do now, we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll get into this second segment. All right. Thank you, guys, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back to the Goldway Guys podcast. If you would like to connect with the show, reach out to the show, please email us at
GWaitGuys@Yahoo.
GWayGuys@yahoo.com. Yeah, and again, thank you, Butch Foster, for being here with us tonight. And we have a lot of questions, a lot of things that we need to get off our chest. And you're the guy for it.
Okay.
I'm just glad he didn't run off during the break.
Yeah.
So true.
We thought we lost Richie, but
Yeah,
we
Richie.
wouldn't have lost much there. But love you, Richie.
Speaking of Richie, he spoke at the baccalaureate last night, yesterday.
How did that go?
That's awesome.
Did an amazing job.
Was you nervous?
Yeah, he was nervous, and I didn't help.
I bet he was sweating.
Yeah. No, he had cotton mouth so
Yeah.
bad. I was just dying to go give him a drink of water.
You wasn't
like a
throwing
bottle
rocks
or
at him,
something.
was you?
No,
Man, you always got to have your little bottle of water with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
man. Just take that with you.
That's why he's the master pastor.
You know.
He knows stuff like that.
So,
Or I'd have to go hit the slushy machine before.
No.
Yeah, then you hear a big slurp sound. You know, like
The problem with
Harvey,
that-
oh, yeah.
Problem with that, Butch, is his Slurpee machine is the margarita machine.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that would cause some issues later on, wouldn't it?
he spoke at the baccalaureate, did wonderful. We, I think we're graduating 47, 48 kids this year.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
It was held.
awesome.
It was held at the First Baptist Church, Goldthwaite. But it was unique because y'all were just the host church.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, the Evangelistic Center. It's their year to lead it.
Host it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But because it's a big class,
Yeah.
they felt the need to move it to the First Baptist Church, and it was just barely big enough.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome because we had a big crowd back in the day years ago. You know,
Yeah.
we did all those things and hosted them, and you know, it may have been another church that was helping out with it, but we always hosted it, which was great. But it's good to see that many people there.
Yes.
For that service. That's great.
It was good, and we hosted it last year for the 2023 class, and it was a little smaller class, but it was again, I think Jonathan Sloan preached that one, and Bodie, I think, led worship. So
Yeah.
it was a very very good time as well. So congratulations to all our graduate class and our seniors that are moving on, and what a successful class
Yeah.
they've had.
Very successful year this year. Wow.
And I wanted to ask you, back in the Wayback Machine,
Mm-hmm.
so put your Wayback hat on.
Uh-huh.
What was your favorite football team or class through the years? Because let me ask you this: when did you start announcing the football games?
Okay, well, announcing, I started working in the booth in 1982. It was Charles Conrad was the announcer, I was the spotter, and Floyd Spradley, he was the timekeeper. Did the clock and everything else like that. And so then after Charles Conrad passed away, then Don Henson came on as the announcer. And
He was
then-
a jewel.
Oh yeah, he was good.
yeah,
I enjoyed working with
Yeah.
with Charles and with Don. Great, had a great time. It was we laughed, had a good time up there. Of course, you start getting a little rowdy. You had to cover the mic because you was like, "Come on, make that! He's going around the end. You can't do that on. I don't know why UIL doesn't let us do that kind of stuff.
Well,
but
Chase Sides is that person.
Well, okay, So
Yeah,
but,
I have to try to coach down Chase Sides and call the play.
okay,
Yeah, all in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you need is me up there with you too.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely right.
But I guess I announced for about 20 years or so, something like that. And so really enjoyed that. Had a great time with that.
Yeah.
And, had Mike Conley spotted for me for years and did that. And then had other people just,
run the clocks.
Run the clock. And then Patrick Berg came in and started running the clock. And then we had Chris Beals been up there,
Yes.
doing all that kind of
Still
stuff.
there?
Yeah, and he's still there, So I had a really good group to work with, but I enjoyed the announcing of the game. I remember one time at one game like that, I can't remember who we were playing, and there was a fumble on the other side of the field, and And so I just said, and as we all know, the ground can't cause a fumble. When Prophet took and looked up at there and threw his hat down like I was like, what? I was like, ew, it was to our favor. And I guess he didn't, then he was like, okay, it's fine. So it was like, so I was like, but those kind of things.
Sure.
The 85 year when we won state, and then 93, 94 where we won state, those were great years. We had, just.
I was 4 in 85. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you started announcing when I was 1.
Yeah, that's all right. And we had the A microphone up there,
Yeah.
and so about this big around,
Sure.
but anyhow, so but I really enjoyed a ton of teams. I don't know that I had a favorite. Like I said, the state championship teams, they were all fun to watch, and the different ones that were playing, and you see something. I remember one time we were watching John Henson was online, and he come down and got his man right off the line. We got him. Well, he brushed him, blocked, and then catches the linebacker who's going out to catch, because we were coming around the end, and then look up, and his running back's just right behind him following John. And John, he's almost as big around as this straw.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 6'4", something like that.
125 pounds.
Yeah, maybe, like that.
Yeah.
And he goes down there and he gets the defensive back. I think it was one of those runs that I'm thinking, why are we running? Okay, look at that, and they're all the way down there. And
Follow me, buddy.
There's sometimes I looked over at Mike and I'd say, and that's why we're up here and Prophet's down there, because I was going, we need to run right up the middle. I think we can push these guys out. And it was like, down the field. So
kind of like the water boy. He just keeps on blocking.
yeah,
And blocking.
like I said, and then there was other guys that did the same thing. You'd think, oh, this guy's not going to be able to do that, and he'd throw just that block, and it was just like, it was like the heavens. You go, like it opens up, and it was like score.
Yeah. Well, okay. So can't specifically go to one team.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I understand that. Is there a player through the years that has stood out to you as like that's special talent that we're watching? When it doesn't necessarily have to be Goldthwait. I hope it is Goldthwait, but
yeah.
But is there that player that kind of stood out to you through the years?
Well, we had some really great players. Keith Cochran was, so intelligent. And the
Who
way
was
he
that
played.
went kick for Rice? Was Andy Beard?
Andy Beard, yeah.
Beard.
Andy's another one. Like that. You needed 2 yards, and they had been stopping us up the middle all night long, and you still turn around and said, Andy, we need 2 yards, like that. And somehow he'd get 2 yards. But like Cochran, we were playing. Who were we playing? Schulenburg, I guess, at Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
And when playing, and our guys all played both ways.
We may have had 14, 13 people.
Yeah, and so, but we were down there, and I never will forget this play. I think it was Keith, I'm not sure, but it was on defense, and their quarterback went up there, and he helicoptered him. Just,
oh boy!
And it was almost right after that they were like, Leroy say he don't want the ball, because after that, we was taking it to him like that. But we've always had real smart quarterbacks,
Yep.
and they're smart football, but they're also smart academically.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think our best teams have been the ones who are just academically intelligent.
Yep.
They understood. Like I said, like when we was talking about the blocks downfield, the guys knew they didn't have to get a great block; they just need to brush the guy.
Yeah,
and get him off.
Give some space. Yeah.
Give him some space, and let the running back make the decision which way he wanted to go. And so
I think that I'm pretty partial to my boys' class, 8th grade, but all of them are academic. They competed.
Oh yeah,
and that's what you're saying. I mean,
yeah.
It shows on the field too.
Even towards the end of your tenure as announcer and the beginning of mine, we had a really smart quarterback in Jackson Patrick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, like my wife taught him, and he intimidated my wife just how smart he was. And she'd have to like, did I do that right, Jackson?
Let me show you something, teacher.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of those guys were just so intelligent. They didn't think they were at the time. They just thought, okay, well, I can do schoolwork.
Just who they
like
were.
But they had that knowledge, that basic knowledge of like, okay, and they could do like, you see on these TV programs where a guy's thinking and all the lines are being drawn. Like they could figure out, if I give him a head fake, he's going this way and I can go, or whatever. And so they would learn how to do head fakes.
It's that looking at the bigger picture of, okay, I'm supposed to go block this guy. Okay, but why am I blocking him? Right? Yeah. It's not just like there's this mental.
Because he's going to be right there, and sometimes they'd feel him. They'd put their hand on their back, and if he felt him going that way, then, I can go this way and break off him. So, it's not just one team or one guy, because we had tons of them through the years.
Well, and to that point, I think a lot of that had to do with the way Coach Profit coached.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I wasn't here at that time, but, the old stories go.
Chan Priest and Coach Profit that. I mean, you got to talk about also, too, like Chip Head, Jeffrey Head.
Yeah.
Oh, man, smart guys.
Spradley.
Tim Spradley being the defensive coordinator, Spiegel there, Gary
Hometown
Spiegel.
boys, they all played here and then grew up and coached.
Yeah, and then just, so many of them just they excelled because they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, and the coach, like the practices, is my understanding back in the day is, they work on formations, they'd work on the stuff that they had to work on, to get game ready. But a lot of their practices, my understanding was, they just threw a ball out there and said, "Let's go."
Well, they ran the stuff they knew, and it's like what Coach Howard's doing with his group now too.
Yeah.
Like you start learning that stuff in 7th grade. We're going to change just a little bit, but we're going to have it, and you're going to learn it. So when you get up to be a freshman or sophomore like that, you know what it's like to be a Goldthwait Eagle.
Right.
And they expect you to play like a Goldthwait Eagle.
There's that standard.
And that's what Andy's trying to get us back to that right now, and he's doing. I think he's doing a great job.
I do too, and I think he has such a hard road ahead because just the changing in culture.
Oh yeah,
kids have so many other things that they can do and be involved in, and if they if they just want to go home and just do nothing and they can go get on a video game or they can go do whatever, and so the attention. Back when I was a kid, even it was like that was everything to play basketball or play, to play that sport, to be on that team,
exactly.
And it's just not that big of a deal anymore in this culture.
Yeah.
And so he's fighting against that, and still puts a really good product on the field.
He is, and you can see every year it's getting better and better, and it will be, because we just got to change over,
I'm curious to see this new alignment in district with us moving to the west there. So, or excuse me, to the east.
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
going to buy
east.
you a globe and a compass.
It's dyslexia. So I had east of my mind.
I got tickled. I told Andy, I said, right after it came out, and I said, so you couldn't schedule anybody in Oklahoma? He said, no, they wouldn't let me schedule him. He said, when? He said, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, and we just laughed. I said, man, it's just terrible, man, what you're going through like that. And he said, well, it is what it is, and we'll just make do.
Yeah.
And I love that attitude. It's like, what? We're just going to do what we can do.
And when your leader's doing that, and your coach is doing that,
kids start following them.
Sure.
Get right after it. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's good. I wanted to hear some of the history of Goldthwait football through the years, and hear some of these stories that are just, stick out in your mind. Like I said, you've been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
And but when did you get to Goldthwait?
I came in November of 1981.
Okay.
Hey, I was 6 months old. Yeah.
I like the birth updates. I appreciate that. So I got ties older than you. Okay, just so you know. So
I was thinking it. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
Yeah.
I like that shirt though. Speaking of ties,
that is a Butch Foster special.
What size is
my
it?
Aloha shirts. I have 42 of them. I think.
Oh heck.
Yeah, you and him were cutting the same.
You need
cloth,
one more. I'm 43.
Oh, don't worry. I'll have more this year. I get some more every year.
Go shopping. Where you shop? That's my kind of shirt.
Well, Carolyn, she was like, when we go, like, if we'll take a cruise or something, she'll say, so, if you want to get a couple, get a couple. And she means a couple, not three.
Yeah.
She means a couple.
Literally two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you show up in 81, and you're from North Carolina.
Yep.
And so born and raised there?
Yep. Sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, born and raised in North Carolina, still Tar Heel
Oh,
fan.
no.
Oh, yeah.
And that irks me a little.
Yeah, well,
But
Tar Heel.
not everybody can be the best, okay?
Hey, but
So,
Tar Heel. I thought that was the Smoky Mountains. I didn't know it was Tar Heel.
oh yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina Tar Heels.
I'm just kidding.
But without
The GOAT from there,
that's what I'm saying. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan just won. James Worthy. You start naming them off who
Right.
came from there.
Absolutely.
So.
It's a long
And
list.
some of them paid for the Mavs, too. Sam Perkins,
That's right.
All
Yes,
those.
he
So,
did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Stackhouse.
Oh, yeah. Jerry Stackhouse. Yeah. Antoine Jameson. You start naming all these pros off. So, yeah.
Buford Davis, is he a Tar Heel?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
Never
not
heard of
exactly
him.
sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of Carolina players, so,
Yeah. Well, I am a Tar Heel fan over like
Yeah.
another school like LSU per se,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
just to get Richie going.
Yeah.
But yeah, just those are your two stops: North
Yeah.
Carolina, go play Texas.
Yeah, I went to seminary for 2 years in Fort Worth,
Mm-hmm.
and then just went to school. Carolyn worked, and I worked, worked in a warehouse. Went to school from 8 to, I think, noon, and then was home for about 3 hours and 4 hours, and then went to work from 4 to 11. So,
Wow. Yeah.
I know
that.
that's where I learned how to sleep 6 hours,
Yep.
I still sleep 6 hours, but it was
Right.
like, okay.
I know that. I know that.
But,
I worked the graveyard shift at UPS for years as a secondary job to support my youth pastoring habit.
Yes, I understand. So,
Yeah, so we did that for years and years. So yeah, the sacrifice is there. And you have how many kiddos?
we have 4 children, 3 girls and a boy, Rachel, Rebecca, Deborah, and Daniel.
Okay. And where are they at nowadays?
3 girls are up in the Metroplex. Rachel's in White Settlement. Rebecca is in the Irving area. She recently got rid of her apartment and lives in a travel trailer, so she's teaches at Trinity High School and up there, but then she just stays at like state parks and stuff like that. And
that's the way to go.
So it's cool. So like this summer, when school's out, she's still going to go and she'll take the travel trailer and go but she's saving tons of money by doing that like that. So, and then Deborah is in Bedford.
Okay.
And she teaches at Trinity's rival. Deborah was teaching in that school district first. And she's at LD Bell High School.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, and then our son Daniel works for Assurian Insurance Company. It does like your phones and your appliances and all that kind of stuff. He lives in Nashville and has been there for 5 or 6 years. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well,
it's spread out.
Travis, you got anything for
No.
Butch?
Yes.
No? Well, I got a lot, but I just wanted to give you
I do too.
I just want to know
Me
if you
too.
got younger while I was sitting here, if you were, before you were born. So, because we keep regressing here. So,
No.
This is just a curious case of Benjamin Button.
yeah, well, whatever.
No. No, I'm just going to hit you about the old Truett. We was talking about that in the break a while ago. You knew him pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I bought a rifle off of him right after he got here because I wanted to go deer hunting and. So he said he had one, so I bought it off of him, and I shot a lot of deer with that rifle.
Yep. He always, we was talking about move-ins and stuff, and he referred to him as old-timer. You're old-timer if you were from here. And Truett didn't live. I don't think he grew up here, did he?
No, he didn't.
No, but that was my first full-time job, and I was about 9.
Really?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Truett. Levi Truett Aldridge.
Aldridge, okay.
yeah.
So was he part of that group?
Yeah.
He was a Yellow Dog Southern Baptist Democrat.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He was
in
at First
back-
Baptist Church when we first came, and then when we started fellowship, him and his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, went over
One
there.
of the
They're
best
part of the
women you'll
core
ever
group.
know.
Verbally? Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh, she's
Yeah.
wonderful.
She'd cook lunch for us every day. Me and Truett go in there and eat, and then I'd about 12:30 we'd sit down in the chair and watch TV, and I'd look over there and he'd fall asleep. And I'd take a nap too.
Oh, yeah.
1:00.
Well, we first noticed that Truett
cooked
would
every
not
day.
Truett would nod off in church, and come to find out he could be driving, and if after 15 minutes you'd look over and go, Trut, like a whoa, like a hello. I think verbally went with him a lot of time just to make sure he stayed awake because I don't know if he had narcolepsy or whatever, but he would just, he'd be gone, check out like that. So.
We trained horses, built wagons, stagecoaches, hearse, a little bit of everything, and he'd send me all over the state. He called my dad. I was 13 years old. I'm gonna send him to Monahans, my Winnebago, and Dad said, well, he's working for you, do whatever. So me and Amy went to Lubbock a time or two, We were dating, but he hated mules until he got to run with Bill Winton.
Oh, yeah, Bill Winton.
Bill Winton.
Bill's a cutter.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He still comes up here, he gets food for people at the food bank.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets me going every time. I always wear shorts, right? And he's like, you wear your long breeches. And I'm like, here we go.
There we go, yeah.
He actually bought me a pair of overalls.
When he likes to grab your hand, and if you're not doing, he'll jerk it real hard, like that. So I go in there real hard and tough, because no, we ain't doing this,
He made my dad mad in about 96 or 97. The dad would never talk to him again. We went out there to haul hay, square bales.
Yeah.
And Dad's always a hand in the hayfield, we always were. And Bill outworked him, and he hated to admit it, but he said, I ain't never been outworked in the hayfield. And he said, that old man's wearing a long sleeve shirt, and I'm over here sweating, needing to drink water before him. Dad wouldn't talk to him no more. it made him mad.
That's funny.
Old Bill was just talking smack,
Yeah.
That's
great. Good time.
Yeah, I love Bill. Every time I see him, I say, "What are you doing out of jail?"
Really, yeah.
But no, well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's take a break here, and we'll get into the church and church plannings and all the things that you and Doug have been instrumental in this community.
Yeah.
So let's do that real quick, and then we'll come back. All right?
Sounds good. All right.
All righty. Good afternoon, and again, welcome back to the Goldthwait Guys podcast. We are joined by Butch Foster, the master pastor of Goldthwait. I say that because he is one of the first real people I met. I say real people, but one of the first people I met here in Goldthwait, and just connected to you right away. And it's been a lot. We love to have fun and pick on each other, and and it works out good. So.
And our wives like it so that, that they don't have to put up with us much, more than they have to,
You notice they're not here tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Carolyn told me go have fun. Go ahead.
She's probably harassing my donkey.
My wife is, yeah. So we steal Travis's stuff.
And I told her to leave my donkey alone.
Just kind of doing some housekeeping. So the first episode, we had the head coach, Andy Howard, on. And now in our YouTube viewing, we are at 533 views on that episode. And that was a month ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Tom Guthrie was the next one.
Yeah.
And that was, now we're over 450 at 464 views on that one.
So it was number 3. Oh, that was just me and you.
It was me and you. And
like 40 views.
We had, it was dark. Richie was doing something with the lights on that one. And that's when we played our game. But I'll tell you, here's the deal. Most people listen to that one on Spotify.
Yeah, because we got in trouble.
Yeah, the copyrights issue with YouTube.
Oh.
And then back to Coach Jernigan. That was a blast.
Brian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was another one on the football deal. But he had a great playoff game. We played Pilot Point. They scored on us the first time, against
30 years ago.
About Brian, and it was after that. I think Brian scored about everywhere he scored on a pass. He intercepted one.
Really?
I think a punt returned. It's like whatever. It was like Brian was on a mission. It was like, fool me once. But after that, it was like I think we ended up beating them something like 40-7.
Wow.
Hey, do you remember? Speaking of this, we played up there at Sweetwater. You remember playing there in that bowl?
Yeah.
And it was so windy. I think
yes.
was it John Bello punted for a negative yardage? Like
Oh yeah.
it was going somewhere, but it went up. It went above the stands, and the wind caught it and blew it behind it.
It was like I thought it was going to become a blimp. It just hung there, So
I just remember it was cold.
Yeah, and I remember. I was trying to think if that's the one where it was so cold.
Was that 94? 2 or 3 or 4,
something like that. But it was so cold outside, and we were having to punt into the wind.
Yeah.
It was like 7 minutes left to go in the ball game, and
we're in a bowl.
We're
like
going to have to
bowl.
we're going to have to punt. And I looked at Carolyn and I said, "We're not punting," and because standing up here in the stands and. And they said, she looked at me. I said, 7 minutes ago, we're punting into the wind, and all they've done is just keep the ball and run it, Said, so we're not going to punt. I said, the only 7 people in the stadium who did not know we were going to do something was the coaches on the other side. And I'm glad they were convinced of that, too, because we completed a pass and then went down there and scored and won the ball game.
Wow.
It was like, hello?
Yeah.
We didn't have any options here.
Yeah.
And they called a great pass play, too. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I think that I've heard throughout the years is that they just found ways to win.
Oh, yeah.
And, the like unthinkable ways of we're going to just win. And then somehow it just happens, right?
We're at San Angelo in the 85 year, and we're down to the end of the ball game again. And we had not been able to get around the end because they would spring Douglas Holtzclaw around the end, He had good speed, and he'd come around there like that. And Chan calls the play, and then Chip, he called timeout, and Kip said, no, coach. He said, I'll get my block. I'll get my block. And sure enough, he did. Sprung Douglas around the corner. We won.
No kidding.
It was like Kip Thompson was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We could not get to this guy, and Kip said, I'll get him. And he did.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kip actually emailed our show here.
We seen him. The girls played softball down in Johnson City, and he come up.
Oh, yeah.
He come up and watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I hadn't seen him since I was in high school. I guess I used to get roping calves off of him back when they lived up there
Oh, yeah.
in them Holsteins.
Yeah. He
So he's a good guy.
He
Good
emailed us
guy.
a while
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, talking about the Jernigan podcast that we had on there. So it was neat. Yeah, and I kind of getting back to it. Had about 200-something views for the Sheriff's podcast where we had both the Sheriffs on. And then Laney Jernigan's, and those were the bad audios.
Yeah.
And then Laney Jernigan's, or Laney J, everybody calls her.
We still got to get. Yeah.
So yeah, over 100-something views on those. So that's good. And I know this is going to be probably in the thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands range.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Butch Foster.
The one and only.
Yeah,
That's
it's
So I kind of started this last segment, but you started at First Baptist Church in what year?
In 1981, November of 1981.
And when did Pastor Doug come
He
on?
came. He was there, I think, 4 years before I came.
Okay.
So he was there like maybe 78,
Okay.
77, 78, something like that.
Gotcha.
So
All right. Yeah, and so y'all started that church. Well, not started. It's First Baptist, right?
Oh,
Been
yeah.
there for years. But y'all were there and started your tenure there for that. And, it's just special to me to have pastors like you and Doug that were here in Goldthwaite for that many years, almost 40 years. Over 40 years for him, right?
Yeah, we've both lived here now over 40 years, and so.
Where's he from?
He's from Dumas.
Okay.
He's
Mr.
Dumas.
Oaksfall? Mr. Oaksfall?
Yeah, they're from. He's from Dumas, and she was from Lufkin, and they went to Howard Payne and met there, and so then he went to seminary, and she taught school just like
She
most
was
of
my
us.
English teacher. I think she's English teacher.
Oh, Miss Julianne?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jules, you betcha.
You want to hear how dumb I am?
She sent me to office time or two.
I could have sworn. A couple weeks ago we were at a varsity baseball game,
Mm-hmm.
and I could have sworn I saw it was on Facebook. It was her birthday. Apparently, it was Doug's or close to Doug's birthday
in
week.
April, yes.
And I'm having everybody sing her happy birthday, and she's looking at me like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" So Yeah.
That's just funny.
And Miss Julian's like, it's not my birthday. What are you doing? I'm
Well,
like,
see, it's Doug's, and then right after his is his daughter Lori's. Like 2 days later, the 10th and
maybe
the 12th.
I got that
So,
confused. So, well, happy birthday, Julian.
yeah, hers is in January. Okay,
There we go.
all right.
So you guys were there at First Baptist Church, and then of course another significant part of that was Pastor. Well, I don't know, Pastor Floyd Spradley.
Yeah, he was deacon there. The minister of music was Bill Laughlin. He was
Okay.
and he could play
Bill Laughlin.
and he could play the piano. I mean, just amazing.
I gotcha.
He's the one that started the community choir and everything else like that.
I didn't think that Floyd was the pastor.
No, he went to like lay revivals and led the music stuff like that. If Bill had to be out, he
was associate.
Yeah, he just volunteer helped and did a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's Ashley Spradley's grandfather.
Still lives in his house.
Yep, she does.
It's a special man. I actually met him. One of the great memories I have going to the senior center.
Oh my goodness!
And I was with Papa D. Fleming.
Oh yeah, D. Fleming.
And
You betcha.
Betty, and we were sitting around eating, and I was actually living with D and Betty at that time.
Uh-huh.
We were eating at the senior center, and Papa D looks up at me. He says, "Listen, this is what we do here. We eat, Floyd talks."
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened. Floyd just went, and Papa D was just eating.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a great memory. Floyd was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
And and then Tim and got to getting to know them.
Oh yeah.
And so it's real neat. Of course, and then Ashley just connecting with her as a coach. So
I used to live down the road from them.
did you out
We'd
there?
slip up there and try to toilet paper his house. My dad would call and tell him. Well, he'd come outside. He used to load shotgun shells with salt. Salt. Yeah, so it was always a. And then as I got older and could drive, we'd drop people off. And I wouldn't. I'd drop them off. I wouldn't get shot above the salt. So I'd drop them off, and we'd get halfway to the golf course, and there's already back, running down the road. Pick us up.
Well, see, that was I had a different approach when the kids would come by and try to toilet paper everything and stuff like that. Yeah. One of the things was I had a great neighbor. My neighbor was Grace Burks. Okay. The Bromleys live there now, and I love having them. They're a great couple and 2 kids and everything. But Grace Burks, she was in her 80s then, and the first time the kids toilet papered my house, it just upset her. She said, "Why would they do that?"
Vandalizing.
And I said, "Oh, that means they like you and everything else like that." I said, "It's good. It's really fun like that." And I said, "You need to have some fun with this." She said, "Okay." So this was like the first weekend when they would do it. It used to be sometimes it was like 3 weekends in a row. Just had to be close to Halloween, Right. So the next night, she's sitting there with waiting on them, and she puts her face in the screen and puts a flashlight underneath her and says, "What are y'all doing?" like that. And she said there was people running in the cars, running in the trees. She said, "I had so much fun, Butch," like that. And she said, "I love Halloween now." So that was just hilarious, like that. So,
You know what I used to do when I lived in town? I'd clean my yard up and both my neighbors' yards up. You know what I'd do with it?
What?
Tim Higginbotham lived across the street. I'd go throw it in his beer cooler.
That's great.
One of my best memories of something like that is I'd take it and I'd see, and I'd take it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'd come back around and look, and it'd be gone. And they was like, "What?" What? She like,
Yeah, wait a minute, that's our work.
it was like, "Man, that was good." I was like, "Not that good."
Yeah. Wasn't that hard.
So that was, to get back to church stuff. Bill Laughlin was the minister of music there, and then,
I gotta tell you my story of our Halloween. So I was a youth pastor, and I don't know if Richie.
He's asleep.
Well, I don't know if it was before. I don't know if it was before Richie's time or when it was. It wasn't after, but there was kids that they wrapped at my house, and then they put forks. Plastic forks.
Fork the yard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course.
And
Try to pull them out, and they don't come out, do they?
no. and so it was a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I was going into Sunday morning, and I knew who it was. I just knew.
Yeah.
And The next morning at church, I grabbed the lawyer that went to the church there, and I grabbed the police officer that went to work there, and actually happened to be in uniform that day. And I had those kids in my office, and with the sheriff and a lawyer. And I said, "This is my lawyer, and this is the sheriff, and I want charges pressed on these kids for destruction of property, defacing public or property." And the lawyer went into lawyer mode, like, "Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to cost you."
Section and code and all this.
Yeah.
Just
and all
getting
this
after
stuff,
it,
like that.
And their eyes got this big, and they started crying and getting emotional.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Gotcha."
Yeah.
And they were mad for a while.
I'm sure.
But,
Because you got them.
hey,
Yeah.
so
Don't play the game if you don't want to run with the big dogs. That's right.
so it was a good time. But yeah, those are good kids. Yeah, you were serving at the church, and you had so many different roles at First Baptist Church, whether it was in youth or whether it was children's church curriculum, all these different
Vacation
areas.
Bible school, and then,
Yeah. So, at what point did you and Doug get together and say we need to do something else? We need to go plant a church.
Our staff meetings were really good. It was like when we had staff meetings, we'd talk about things and just go over. It was Doug and Bill and myself, and then when Peggy came on, Peggy now, we would just talk about every kind of thing under the sun, that was church related and community related, and how we could reach out better, But we just felt like we keep hitting the ceiling. We keep we can't get above that, and do some things like that, and some of those things like that, and one of those is and we were able to. I told him, I said, I can't do any more with youth because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I kept, I'd get to a youth group. I started with 3 girls and got the youth group, built it to about 50. And then we called Nick Burleson on, and then he came, and, I told him, I said, oh, yeah, we shot up to 75 to 80 within a couple of months. And I was like, see, I knew what I was talking about. There's one, there's one. Like, But we just knew that to reach more people, we had to do some things different. And we were like, okay. So what's available? So we just said, okay, we just need to find and start a church.
Yeah.
And that's about the time that the cowboy church movement was just in its infancy. So we called up to the Baptist building in Dallas and started talking with them and everything. They gave us all the information. So then we just created, the cowboy church is what we called it, like that. But before that, we had done fellowship, and it was the same thing with both of them. It said, well, okay, we're not reaching everybody. Not everybody was coming to First Baptist Church. Everybody thought, we wore tuxedos and everything else like that. But
y'all don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, okay.
I come to church a lot of times with T-shirts now,
That's right.
like that. So,
That's right.
But so we just felt like if we're going to reach this community, we're going to have to reach them with other venues. And so we intentionally, when we did fellowship, we said, okay, this has got to be more relaxed church where people think they got to be there. And then when we did the Cowboy Church, which is now Western Heritage, we said we've got to do tap into a group who feel like even that they need to be more of a, and it doesn't have to be cowboys or anything.
No,
but as
country.
Just
the country vibe.
Country vibe. I guess
that's me. Is I've been trying to think of ways to get people going. The numbers. I go to church class on Sunday, and the numbers are kind of low, and there's not a whole lot of young ones. Because I looked around the other day and I told Amy, I said, we're probably one of the youngest couples in there. And
and see, we saw that. Doug and I saw that as in our church.
And I'd like to see numbers go up everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. It's what's being taught.
Exactly.
But just
but I mean, and a lot of people wouldn't know this, but I'm real good friends with Mike McMahon.
good people.
And him and I, we pray about a lot of things. I'll go up and visit. Carolyn says, I told Carolyn I got to go to the drugstore for a few minutes. She said, yeah, I'll see you in a couple hours. Because Mike and I talk about all kinds of stuff, and we pray about things. And he's just a good, godly man. And I thank the Lord for it.
Absolutely.
Church and prayer and a lot of things has changed where I've been, where I've come from. And if it worked for me, they let me in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I probably that's why I'm not sitting in between both y'all. I'm over here by the door where I can get out.
Might catch on fire.
You feel like a church cookie then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like I heard the other day someone said if one person gets to heaven because of me or something, you know, then I've done my job.
Thank the Lord. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
And to that point, you knew that, and you and Doug knew that. Hey,
Yeah, and we had some deacons right after it came to us like that. We said, "Funny you should say that."
Right.
You know that here's what we feel like need to do. You know, so and we just.
Who were those deacons, if you remember?
There was like Grayson Wetzel, Danny Long, and I was trying to think some of those guys
Those
like
some
that.
legends
you know.
there.
Yeah, and they were just talking and said, "Boy, we need to reach some people." Then there came, and then I can't think of, of course, Floyd was one of them. Then we had some other older deacons, like
D.
Yeah, D. Yeah, and J.D. Harper, and I mean, just all kinds of guys. We had some great guys, that helped us.
Papa D taught you how to cook pancakes.
Oh yes, his famous pancake story was that, we were on Sunday morning doing Baptist men breakfast deal real early like that, and I said, well, D's over, and he says, "You know how to tell when to flip a pancake?" And I said, well, I thought, well, here I'm gonna get some good knowledge here. D. Fleming says, 40 bubbles. You count 40 bubbles and then you flip it. Well, I tried that and I was like, man, like that. And he looks over and he's whipping himself. I was like, thank you, D. Appreciate that. Like that. So after that, when we'd see each other every once in a while, we'd say 40 bubbles. He said, "You got it."
That's greatness.
Yeah. So I was like,
I heard
okay.
that somewhere. I don't know if my wife has a number or her grandmother taught her something.
Oh,
that rings a bell. There's
it must
something
be.
to do with bubbles.
That may be one of those things like that. But if you do 40, that backside looks like this. Okay,
Yeah.
it's pretty. It's
burnt.
It's because you're up to, while you're counting, those are sealing up again. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of like cooking beans. You
Yeah.
put 239 beans in there. One more would be 240. Yeah.
That's right. That's great.
Well played. Well played there.
There you
I
go.
see. Let's get back on point here. I mean, yep. So you guys planted fellowship first, and what year was that? Roundabout, remember?
I'm not sure, really, to tell you the truth. It sort of just all blends in, because I mean,
sometime in the 90s, right?
yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was I want to say 97.
Okay.
Could be off something like that.
We'll say
Something
mid
like
90s.
that. Okay, something like that. Yeah.
And then this church, Western Heritage Cowboy Church, which was at that time just basically the Cowboy Church or Mills County Cowboy Church.
Mill County Cowboy Church. Yeah.
When in 97?
Fellowship was.
Oh,
Yeah, but this one was when?
2000s, like 2000, 2001 maybe.
So it was pretty close
Yeah,
after.
pretty.
Where did it start at? It was out there by the log cabin, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, it
no, it
started
was the
out
old
there.
feed store.
Yeah, old feed store out there on the highway.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I may be wrong on the dates. It was one of those things. You had so many things going on. It was like, what fire are we stoking and why? Or where?
Yeah.
You could probably tell us. I'm surprised some of the memories you got.
Yeah.
Well, if I thought about it for a little
Crazy.
bit.
He remembers the not important stuff.
Yeah. I am real good at non-important stuff.
I'm full of useless information.
Oh, I fit in with you guys.
Again, I've been here, Butch. This will be September. Will be 9 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, your expiration date's just about up. Then I'm thinking, what do you think, Travis?
I'm gonna be nice to him. He helped me drench my sheep today.
Well,
I have never in my life had a neighbor drive by when I was pinning sheep, and he shows up. Hey, come on, I'll help you.
Well,
and brought the kids with him too.
What does he want?
That's what I'm afraid.
Well, there's-
Okay, there you go. Okay.
We got this new equipment here.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I got it.
I
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
They done took my turkey.
9 years.
yeah.
Wow.
9 years.
Yeah, I been here September 2015. We came here, and it's been a blessing.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
time, a great community.
Oh, you bet. It has been.
And it's
Another
been,
thing I turned over to you was Christmas Wish.
That's right. That's
There
been
you go.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years did you do that?
What is that?
Christmas Wish. That's what Craig Smith and I started that with 3 families, and that was like in 82, 83, maybe.
Go ahead and tell them how old
that.
you were then, Travis.
One or two.
One or two, yeah. I was like, go ahead, throw it in. You haven't hit that one yet, so.
Craig Smith. Yeah, he was a good one.
Oh, man, he was a good
Talking
guy.
about the painter?
But,
Worked at the co-op? He was a painter, too, wasn't he?
well, he worked at the co-op, and before that, he worked at ABC. You know, had the one finger that was going.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you know, he's a great guy. So we started that, and next year it went to 11. After that, it went to like 35, and then it just blossomed. And,
Pretty
you know,
cool deal.
it's a great deal. Worked with Schwartz Food Store with the food for years, and people started, you know, all the different things, and have both banks in town, and all the stores start, you know, putting up Christmas trees. And as you know, man, boy, sometimes if you're doing those trees, go up and somebody will call you and say, no of those ornaments on those trees up there at Schwartz or Mills County or at this store or that store. And you're like, really? I just got back here.
I know.
Yeah. So, but that's a fabulous thing, you know.
It is great for our community, and we went back to doing it at the Civic Center this year, which I'm happy for that, because we did it here. I don't know if we did it just 1 year or 2 years.
2 years,
here.
I
Was
think.
it 2 here?
2 years.
And with not that it was not a problem doing it here.
Just needed a little more space where it was laid out just a little differently.
That and just to feel the vibe of it's a community event and not
sure
associated with Cowboy Church or even First Baptist Church.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just,
whatever.
It's a central place. I'll tell you one of the people that stood out this year was Mary Brooking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, every year you'll find that there's some people who will step up and do some things, and they'll just... And it's like blows your mind. Wow. You know, they can take a different take on something, and it's like it'll help you, you know.
Well, I want to shout out to Brian Brooking too, or else he'll get upset. He listens to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There you go.
Brian, you did great this year. Christmas
There you go.
wish. Good job, bud.
I fussed at him last night.
Get his feelings hurt.
No, he's a good one. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did Christmas. I could not begin to tell you the numbers this year, but I know we give well over 150 boxes. Or
like
120
families. You know, just families, and then we end up doing 30, 40 singles, senior adults.
I think it's up to 60.
Is that right? It's just crazy numbers.
It is, and when you do, you know, the housing.
Both housings.
Yeah, I don't know what are they called? Housing.
I call them government housing.
Government housing, housing assistant or whatever.
Yeah, assisted housing, whatever you want to do that, you know.
And so, but it's
and Whispering Oaks too, you know.
Whispering Oaks.
Oh, that's great folks there.
But it doesn't just.
Johnny Davis lives there, don't he?
Oh yeah,
he's the mayor of Whispering Oaks.
Oh yeah,
he is.
He's
a meteorologist.
Man,
I've known Chotty
forever. I know.
43 years.
Keep him in your prayers. He's always struggling.
Yeah.
Man, he's pretty strong. I mean, I've been bothering to see what all he goes through and does himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, dialysis and everything.
Day in and out.
Yeah, I told him one time he was talking about that, and I'd given a kidney to Lanny Dow.
That's
you know?
right.
And so I told him, I said, Chotty, I ain't giving you another one. I'm just telling you right now, I only got one left, you know, like that. So, and he's like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yours worked.
You know, I was like, man, work, but, you know. So, but he's a good guy. Yeah,
I
really
forgot.
is.
That's one of those things, Lanny Dow, you helped him. And what year was that?
2005. 2004, 2005, something like that. He was able, you know, he went, I think, 18 years, or 2005, went 18 years.
Did he?
Yeah, because he passed away in 22 or 23, something like that.
My granddad had one. I think he gave him 10. I think he made it right at.
Yeah.
You know, Aunt Carol gave Buster one.
Well, I like, you know, I like you, Travis. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Butch
well,
I ain't giving.
If God tells you to do it, man. I was
you don't
just
have a
praying
choice.
about it like that, and they kept asking me. They were like, how do y'all know each other? And where did y'all grow up close to each other? I said, yeah, I grew up in a little small town called Matthews or Indian Trail, North Carolina, and he grew up in Junction, Texas. We were really close like that. And the nurse kept going, but y'all are like brothers. It's just we don't see matches like that. I said, well, keep trying to tell you folks.
Yeah.
We go way back.
The Lord told us to do this, you know. And So we just did.
I'm a donor.
Are you?
Yeah, there ain't gonna be nothing.
You'll be a brain donor.
Well, we'll just shave him when we get the hair. You know,
I'll give you a ear. You ain't gonna be able to hear out of it, but it's for cosmetic. Yeah.
No, yeah. So
Be like, what is it Ron White said? When I die, I want to look dead.
exactly.
no, I remember going through the Ministerial Alliance meetings with you and getting to know you, spend time with you, and it's been a blast.
Oh, you bet.
We've been having fun. We went to some. What really solidified me is you're an okay guy. Is when me and you and Pastor Doug went to a Lindell
playoff
football game.
Oh yeah.
Got to see my.
I'd like to have
team.
been a fly on the wall in that car.
Oh, we had fun.
I
That was
imagine
a fun
so.
night.
Who drove? Did Russ drive?
No, Doug did.
Doug did.
Doug drove. Yeah, I was praying the whole time.
Well, have you ever rode with Russ?
Well,
In the 3 or 4 Maverick games in the rain. I mean, he drives like I felt safe because he drives like I do.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is it keeps your prayer life up to snuff.
That's it. That's it.
No, but we rode with Doug and went to Freddy's, I think, before
we
the
did.
game and stuff like that. So had a great time.
I wanted to spend a little bit of time and just talking about. I am very excited. I'm the president of Ministerial Alliance this year. I got rookie dude into that. You know what that's about.
Oh yeah.
And but that's good. I'm proud to be a part of that. And, but just the.
I'm gonna run for it next year.
Are you? Well, I hope you do.
If you'll run for it, you'll get elected. I guarantee it.
You'll run unopposed.
Exactly.
But the condition and the state of where our churches are, I'm very proud of in our community right now.
Oh yeah.
I met with William Udy.
Yesterday. He's a good guy.
Isn't he amazing?
Yeah.
And so
He probably thinks I don't like him because I haven't been back to church since he's been here. We've been gone.
Yeah. He was here and then he came back and he said, there's nothing like Goldthwaite to people here. I said, I guarantee it. I've lived other places as well. So
yeah, but he in Church of Christ is really, it's exciting to see what their futures holding. And he's not old. He's not Butch Foster old.
No, he's not. He's a young man.
That's right. And speaking of a young man, you got the Methodist pastor, Brock.
Yeah, he's going to be a good keeper too.
Yeah.
He's encouraging for that congregation. They're excited and they need to be. He's a good young man.
He is. He's
a lot of good ideas and stuff.
When he walks into a room, you know it.
Oh yeah, he feel the doorway up, don't he? See, that's the kind of guy I was wanting to run behind. So they couldn't even see me. They just thought they got out of the way.
So, have you met him, Travis?
No, I've probably seen him.
I'm 6'3", 260 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, he makes me look very small. He's that guy. So he's
I met
big old boy.
I made sure I met him, and we were on good terms immediately.
He's from Baylor. He's a good guy, and
played football for Baylor.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, kind of side note. One of my fond memories of Texas Longhorns football back in the day of Colt McCoy.
Oh yeah.
His center. Was a guy named David Snow.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, you remember him?
I think so.
Anyways, he got drafted to the Buffalo Bills, and
Colt McCoy.
No,
I know that.
Right. Got to watch him.
Yeah, I know.
David Snow. And anyways, one of my mentors, a good friend of mine, Coach Ike Andrews, he resurfaces tennis courts. And they'll scratch me. So I helped him one summer do that. And, just the way I could spend time with Coach. And David helped us one day. And, of course, he off-season football, just this massive human being. And he, those 5-gallon buckets of paint for the tennis courts have to weigh, 80 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Just what's in them.
Easy, yeah.
He's got 4 of them, and he's carrying them. And it's just
most I ever carried was 2, one on each hand, like that. And I was in a hurry trying to get to where I could set it down, So.
And, of course, me, being the ever so fun guy, we were sitting down there at lunch eating lunch, and And I said, I don't think you're that big a deal. You know, I don't think you're that good. You know, you NFL guys are, you know, and he was big.
Yeah.
And
5 gallon bucket of paint weighs 50 pounds.
50 pounds?
$10. $10.
Well, it depends on what's in it.
Well, 10 gallons. 1 gallon of paint weighs 10 pounds. So, yeah.
It's kind of like that old question, you know,
Yeah.
what weighs more, 1,000
Yeah.
pounds of feathers? Or
Depends on how tired you are and how hot and how far you got to go with it. It becomes 80 pounds the
Yeah.
further you're carrying it.
Exactly. But he said, okay, let's do this. He said, I'm going to put this 5-gallon bucket right here, okay? And then we're going to line up. And that 5-gallon bucket is the quarterback. I dare you to touch it. I didn't get within 20 yards of that campaign. He threw me on the ground.
You're still trying to get your head squared back away, aren't
goodness.
you? Your neck was twisted.
Yeah. It was like a kid. And
Oh, my goodness,
He was
yeah.
so massive. But
Yeah.
no, it was one of my memories of him. But
Hey, I missed something, though.
yeah.
I pulled up 5-gallon bucket. What was in the buckets? Cause I thought there was paint in them.
Yeah.
Okay, and I said 50 pounds.
Well-
You said depends on what's in them.
Well, but it's not just paint though. It's
Yeah.
tennis surface paint. It has
Oh,
like
okay.
dirt in it too,
Oh,
some
so-
kind of
Yeah.
granule
Yeah.
thing. So
it
And
might have been
sometimes-
53 or 4 pounds.
maybe
Maybe so. Yeah, you never can tell. Like I said, on
I thought I missed something there.
Yeah.
hot July afternoon,
Yeah.
about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 1,622 pounds is
Yeah.
what it weighs. You know,
yeah.
because you're done by that time.
Yeah.
That was a really hot summer, but
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Was
yeah.
it? Hang on a minute. Was it lead-based paint? Maybe that's what's wrong. Anyway,
acrylic paint?
Yeah.
I think.
Acrylic gloss or high-
Statistician over
Oh,
here
yeah.
with all the information.
All the numbers.
Yeah, we want Travis on that one. Yeah.
He's the go-to.
Oh yeah, call him all the time about stuff like that.
I can go to Google.
I go to Travis. I don't go to Google.
I don't know if I have anything else. What do you have for us?
No, man, this stuff here's pretty cool,
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I think we're gonna wound this down.
Yeah.
Let you get back to your evening.
though. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, wait, thanks for coming.
Oh, you bet.
It's been
Appreciate the invite. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
You know who I'm
myself.
thinking about next time, maybe?
Who?
You might know him. Do you know Leighton Black?
Oh yeah.
You reckon?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know his number?
I may
I
have his
will.
number.
Well,
I'll check and see right afterwards.
Yeah.
So I
That'd be
think I
good.
have. He's
Yeah.
man.
It'd be
You talk
fun,
about
huh?
stories
Yeah.
now. He's
Yeah.
got stories. You just find out about those coins that he
Oh.
does like that. You
They're
know.
probably shiny and wore down.
Oh
My
yeah,
grandpa
they're
had,
wore down. I don't know
Yeah.
how many sets he's going
my
through.
granddad had them. That's all he would do.
That's
Oh
what
yeah,
Yep.
something like that. Layton's got plenty of stories, and
Yeah.
I guess if you're asked his wife through, she could tell you the real
Yeah.
stuff. You know?
Yeah.
We saw him about 3 weeks ago at a wedding.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was-
really?
Yeah, it was neat.
There was a slushy machine there too.
Oh my God!
It was not.
And that was there you go.
No.
But all right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Here's how you can connect with the show. First off, go to YouTube or Spotify, subscribe to the channel,
Yep.
and that way we need to get. I know there's more than 70 people listening,
Yeah.
so if you're
Yeah.
listening, just subscribe to the show,
Subscribe to it.
and then hit the like button.
And this is Monday, May the 13th.
May 13th,
Russ will get this put up.
2024.
Tonight, about
Yeah.
midnight or so.
I'll have it up tonight. We'll do first off. It'll be Spotify. We'll
Well,
do
I mean,
audio first, and then
We're talking like it's live, but yeah.
yeah. But by the 14th,
yeah.
it'll
I
be
feel alive. How about you?
just barely hanging on.
Here we go.
Here's the thing too. If you want your email read on the show, we want to do that. Email the show at, and that's where you come in, Travis.
Go G-Weight Guys. G-Weight Guys at yahoo.com.
Perfect.
Guys.
at yahoo.com. And we're going again. Here, I wanted to bring this up to our audience. Me and Travis have been talking. We do this right now, studio out of the church, Western Heritage Cowboy Church, which is fine. We are kind of looking for a permanent place, kind of to set up to where we can leave the equipment and
Sitting
leave
in a
the
corner or something somewhere.
yeah, leave it set up, and so if you know of a place that would work for that, and you email the show or reach out to me, Travis, if you know us personally, and we would love to be able to kind of get that kind of thing going. So, But other than that,
maybe you could do it in the old jail or something like that.
Hey, that would
you
be
know?
pretty cool.
So
I don't know. if there's
upstairs,
air
they have it.
conditioning.
They'd have the jail cell.
Yeah.
Where you
I'm
go in
afraid
there.
they might. They won't let me out.
They may lock you the door.
Well, yeah.
here's some things we
Depending on
need.
who wins the sheriff's deal here,
Yeah.
they might not let me out.
They might not let him
There
out.
you go.
Here's the things that we need, though. We need electricity,
Yeah,
and,
Wi-Fi.
and we need internet.
Yeah.
So those are two things that we
Must
have to
have.
have. Must haves to do this. So
Don't have a monkey on a generator, right?
well, we have a Richie.
Okay.
That's all we have.
I've got a hamster on a treadmill. Or a wheel.
That's right.
Old school, right?
He falls off every
That
now
was,
and
that was a CAT scan.
you go.
Showed that.
then. MRI.
AMR. Anyways. Thank you again, Butch Foster, for coming out, spending time with us. And
I totally enjoyed myself, guys.
it's
I
been
really
fun,
enjoyed
man.
It
Yeah.
has been fun.
so we'll do it again. I know we may talk around football season. I know
Okay.
because you're, again, a fountain of knowledge when it comes to Goldthwait
yeah.
football.
Yeah,
Because
as long as it's not important, I've got it. You know, it's,
You'll fit right in.
you know.
that's right. All right, Butch, thank you again.
Yes,
Travis, sign off.
Good to see Rich.
Yep. Good to see
All right.
Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Not Rich. I said
It was good to see Rich, too.
Russ.
Russ. Yeah,
Frank.
Russell.
They call me Frank. Yeah.
Oh, guys.
All right, we better stop before
Yeah.
before the hamster falls off.
Before we get too smart here.
Y'all have a good evening, or good morning, or however you're going to spend
Yeah.
your day.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We'll see you next week.
that's right.